Here's a story about a single lie that almost destroyed a young man's life. It's a powerful lesson, so let's get into it. We have a young man whose father had passed away. He was of marriageable age and worked near his uncle, a man named Salim. This uncle wasn't just any relative. He was the head of the family, the wise elder everyone turned to for advice. His word was law. The young man was casually looking for a wife, taking his time. One day, his uncle approached him. "So, son, what's happening with your marriage plans?" The young man replied, "Honestly, uncle, I'm still searching." His uncle smiled and said, "Why look elsewhere when your cousin is right here?" The young man knew exactly who he meant. His cousin was wonderful, kind, beautiful, a truly great person. But for his own personal reasons, he didn't want to marry a close relative. It wasn't about her. It was just a preference he had, and she didn't quite fit the specific image he had in mind for a life partner. But here was the problem. His uncle was a man you couldn't say no to. He was respected, almost feared. Refusing his offer would be a huge embarrassment for him and the family. How could he possibly decline without causing a major issue? Later, his uncle called, asking for his decision. The young man was stuck. He was a gentle soul and couldn't bear the thought of hurting his uncle. So, he came up with a plan. He went to his uncle's house after the afternoon prayer, knowing he'd be reading the Quran. He approached him, kissed his forehead, and said, "Uncle, may God keep you for us. Honestly, offering me your daughter is a huge honor, more than I deserve. But you're putting me in a difficult position." And then, he told the lie. "Uncle, I have these episodes, like an illness. A kind of exhaustion hits me, no one knows about it, and I can't deceive you or your daughter." His uncle, concerned, said, "We can have the Quran read over you, we'll get it checked out." No, uncle," the young man replied quickly. "I'm used to it, but I have to ask, would your daughter really accept someone with a condition like mine?" His uncle looked thoughtful and said, "May God make things easy, we will see." 2 days passed. The uncle called back. He had made his decision. "It's over," he said. "May God grant you wellness and ease your affairs." The young man felt a wave of relief. Time went on. His cousin got married to someone else, and thankfully, their family relationship remained good. The young man resumed his search for a bride. He would visit families, present himself honestly, and everything would seem perfect. The initial meetings were always warm and positive. But then, like clockwork, 3 or 4 days later, he would receive a message, "We're sorry, but we can't proceed." It happened again and again. He says he didn't think much of it at first, maybe it was just bad luck. But one day, he visited a family, and the father was unusually cold. As he was leaving, the father said, "May God heal you," and quickly shut the door. The phrase struck him. He gently knocked again and asked, "Uncle, excuse me, but did someone tell you something about me?" The father hesitated, but then he admitted it. "Your uncle. He told us you're sick. He said you have psychological problems, seizures. He warned us against you." The young man was in total shock. His lie, meant to protect his uncle's feelings, had been turned into a weapon against him. Distraught, he went to a trusted friend, Abu Abdullah, and explained everything. They decided they had to confront the uncle, but respectfully. They sought the help of a righteous elder, a man who knew the young man from a religious study group and held him in high regard. After prayers, the young man asked this elder to mediate a meeting. The uncle arrived, and the young man, with all the politeness he could muster, began, "Uncle, do you remember when you offered me your daughter in marriage? And how you pressured me? I lied to get out of it, uncle. I said I was sick only because I didn't want to hurt you or her." At first, the uncle claimed he didn't remember. But the young man gently persisted, apologizing again and kissing his uncle's head, showing deep respect despite the pain he felt. Finally, the uncle's memory seemed to return. He admitted, "When you told me you were sick, I didn't keep it to myself. I honestly thought I was doing good by warning people. I never should have spread it." With the help of the wise elder, they began to talk it all out. The misunderstanding was clear. The uncle understood the damage his words had caused, and the young man found it in his heart to forgive him. Peace was restored to the family, and what was the biggest lesson from all this? The young man said, "From that day forward, I swore I would never lie again, no matter the consequences." This story is incredible because it teaches us 3 very important things. First, the absolute importance of honesty. A small lie, even with good intentions, can spiral out of control and cause immense damage. Truthfulness, even when it's hard, is always the better path. Second, it highlights the significance of family values and respect. The young man's deep respect for his uncle was what led him to lie in the first place. But it was also that same respect that allowed them to resolve the conflict peacefully through mediation. And finally, it shows the power of patient problem-solving. Instead of reacting with anger, the young man sought wise counsel and approached the situation with patience and grace. This careful approach is what ultimately led to reconciliation and healing. It's a reminder that with patience and wisdom, even the most tangled problems can be unraveled. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.